All right, welcome Gridiron Queensland community. Kenny Andres here, of course, back here for Gridiron Queensland TV at Nerang on the Gold Coast here today for the Week 3 matchup, starting with the women's at 4 p.m. Before we get into it, I've caught up with some of the players here. First of which, quarterback Lauren Evans, as we turn our attention here, Australian quarterback, Queensland quarterback, and then on top of that, obviously, Gold Coast Stingrays quarterback. With the Jets unfortunately folding, the Ravens and the Stingrays, it becomes pretty much the premier matchup in the women's comp right now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, Thunder has done a great job. They took us last week, so there's definitely looks like there's a lot of competition this year in the season, so that should be really good.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Is there any explanation from what happened from your performance in Week 1 to Week 2? Because it was a pretty big swing.
I'm not too sure. I suppose Griffith has a great defence and they've worked out how to stop. You know, I know that they're trying to shut us down by shutting down our option and things like that. So they beat us with that defence last season to get into the Sun Bowl. So they did really well. We've also got a lot of rookies, so still trying to find our feet with our defence and offence as well. So.
Obviously, Griffith last week, I'm sure they would have presented a lot of height with their receivers. They've got a bunch of receivers above 6 foot. Did that present issues?
Always, like, you're always going to, at one point I was like, I'll go in there and jump on with Casey, have a dance.
The two Queensland quarterbacks going at it on the edge. Yeah. One person who I thought would be inactive today, a certain little wide receiver wearing the number 13, it appears she is here, not only in Australia, but here in Nerang. Does that mean today we are looking at Riley Hodgson taking the field?
She is. Little Riley's back, which is very good for me to see her back, having a long history of playing with her, so be good. Also, we've still got Cody out there who did an amazing job last week, so I think she got 15 to her, so yeah, see what happens.
Finally, new coaching staff for you this year. A long-time, player of yours, or a teammate, in Christine Schultz. She's stepping into the head coaching role, but she's actually got some great support. Talk us through some of the new coaching stuff we've got this year.
Yes, we've got Christine as our head coach. We've got defensive coordinator Kevin. He's come from Gridiron Queensland background, so he's wanted to step up and lead the defense for our women's team, which is great this year. We've also got Craig, who's come from history playing in CFL as a receiver, so he's brought some knowledge there across from that. And Adzi's always got the O-line there, so she's got a good group there.
Fantastic. I won't let you keep you too far away from warm-ups. Appreciate your time, Lauren.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. All right, here with defensive back Chrissy Torres, fresh off her WAGL title as well as a Sun Bowl title. Football's going pretty good for you right now and the teams you've been a part of, and this defence for a second title, it's going pretty good right now in Week 3.
Yeah, it's feeling really good. I think we've got a lot of veteran players on our team to help guide the new rookies as well.
So the question is, for anyone trying to repeat, is can you battle the battle of complacency? Right now, you guys seemingly are doing that with some of the score lines you're putting on there, but is it hard to sort of get that second one?
No, I think during our training sessions we've been very focused on elevating our level of skill and building that. Complacency isn't in our vocab, so we just make sure that everyone's onto it 100% every game, every training session.
A couple of new players. I mean, you've got a lot of returning players, and that's obviously the backbone of your good form right now, but who are some of the newbies that have been standing out in the first 2 weeks?
It's our lineman. So we've got a new lineman. She's amazing and she can catch as well. So she's definitely a double threat for us, and in a good way. So, but yeah, it's amazing to see these rookies develop and pick up the game so much better than what we've seen. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about your opposition. Technically, they're the last team to have put you to the sword. That was a long time ago now, last year at home back at Malimba. But you guys are a different team now. It's a different season right now. They've still got some of the same old weapons, including a one wide receiver, number 13, Riley Hodgson, who has made a late appearance. Has that affected your scouting report at all?
Not really. I think we've already prepared for her as well to come back should she have, which she did. We're always prepared. I think our strategy and G's football mind operates at 10,000 miles per hour. So I think, yeah, we're very well prepared.
Fantastic. Well, we'll let you continue that preparation. Appreciate your time, Chrissy. Thank you. All right, well, there we have it, our two pre-game interviews. Thanks to Lauren Evans and Chrissy Torres. I'm Kenny Andres. Let's get to the action. Here's an amazing how fast I can get from the field to my commentary booth. Hello and welcome to Week 3 of Gridiron Queensland TV. Back at Nerang First up, we have the women's division for the first time this season, where we have a very heated rivalry between the Bayside Ravens, the current reigning women's champions, taking on the powerhouse that has been the Gold Coast Stingrays. They have had a bit of a mixed start of the season, but following this game, you will also have our second game, the men's division. The Stingrays once again taking on the Griffith University Thunder. A real battle to see who will take third place at the start of the season, but the game ahead of us, the women's division, currently sitting at 2-0. The Bayside Ravens, they're in purple, running left to right to start this first quarter. The Stingrays, the home side, they are 1-1 after bouncing back from 1-1 after taking a big loss last week to the Thunder, a 34-6 defeat after starting the season with a huge win over the Raptors. So in pre-game, you would have heard me there speaking to quarterback Lauren Evans, and they don't really have an answer to how things went so drastically wrong for them last week, except for the fact that the Thunder played so well. They utilised what to do well, which is the height they have on the perimeter, and they just didn't really have an answer at the Stingrays. So they're hoping they've done their homework and they match up a little better with the Ravens here in week 3.
All the way back, Stingrays!
Ravens coming off a huge win last week, 72-0 over the Raptors. This kickoff, it falls around the 35. It's picked up by Hodgson. That's a story that I covered in pregame. Look at her go. Her impact is felt immediately. She mightn't have to wait long to get in the end zone. Stopped just shy of the goal line. But what an electrifying start here for the Gold Coast Stingrays, starting with the ball inside the 5-yard line. A huge return there from the returning wide receiver, Riley Hodgson, who has just gotten back from a short volunteer trip away in Louisiana. First and goal. They are about 2.5 yards out. The agility on display right there as we come back to live action. Evans in a quarterback. 3 wide receivers, 2 out to her right, and that's Fuller alone to her left. And that'll be a quarterback draw to start us off. Evans will have to push to the sideline and she'll get it. Touchdown Stingrays, the home side. 2 plays and they are on the board, thanks to the fantastic kick return there by number 13, Riley Hodgson, finished off there by Lauren Evans on the ground. 6-0 Stingrays. Let's take a look at this again. Quarterback draw using a running back to give her the outside she needed. And Evans, she's done that many times before. She's done it again. 6-0, the Stingrays. 2-point conversion here ahead for the Stingrays. Have been getting used to seeing a lot of PATs in the past couple of years. Evans going to go draw again. She gets hit behind the line, keeps going as she got it. Looking for a signal, and she did not. 6-0 the score remains. We can't get a much better shot than this. Let's take a look. Oh, I think they're going to deem that her knee or probably the back of her hamstring was down before she advanced that ball, but regardless, a heck of an effort from the Australian QB. So, a huge injection early in this game by the Stingrays. Evans, who was, Hodgson, who was expected to be out of the country for a little while longer, has come back with a boom. Resetting now. Ball is teed up on the 30. And well, there is a legitimate chance here, depending on the style of kickoff we will see, that the Ravens could take this back a fair distance themselves. They have got the dangerous returning duo of Jessica Keeper-Anderson and, let's wait and let's say for the first time, Kestra Bessie back deep to return. It's a short stabbing kick. It will be fielded by Anderson. Anderson following the block of Bessie. Now she's cutting back up the middle of the field, beats a tackler, and eventually is taken down smack bang on the Ravens 45, short of halfway. And for those who might be tuning in to an Australian or a Queensland game of Gridiron for the first time, due to the nature of the fields that are played on here in Queensland, all rugby league or union fields, our fields are actually 90 yards. So that means they take the 10 yards away by taking 5 of each half at halfway, hence why you see the 40 and 50 yard markers so close together there. First down, Ravens. Let's see what their offense can do in response to the Stingrays' early score. Moran in motion, 3 wide receivers bunched to the right. The ball has to be pulled back in by Shelton. It's a cut there by Moran, and Moran is taken down in a nice open field tackle between old teammates Briscoe and Dargy. Briscoe in an unusual colour for those who've been tuning into the Women's League for the last couple of years. She has obviously joined the Gold Coast Stingrays, as you'll see a lot of former Jets in different colours this year. The unfortunate folding of the Logan City Jets, my apologies, has seen their talent spread out across the league. We can see a bunch of it today. This time, Bessie in motion. She's going to get the ball and go down the left-hand side. She's looking for blocks, bouncing it outside to the 40 now. She's past the 40, looking for speed at the 30. She's going to pick up a block. She's going to go in untouched. The Ravens respond. No flags on the field. The Ravens have picked up a touchdown of their own. The score is 6-all. Conversion to come. Trias Mono with a 60-yarder. And after saying Bessie for the first couple of times, a fall back to old habits there and called her by her former last name, Trias Mono now. I should mention Kestra. Congratulations to Kestra and Mitchell Bessie, also from Gridiron, Queensland, who got married this Thursday past. So 2-point conversion in for the Ravens for a chance to take the lead. He'll be taken from Moran, who's at quarterback. This is their wild bird set. Moran's going to look for the pylon. She'll get inside it. Chuck on 2 points, and the Ravens, they answer back quickly and take the lead.
Wow. Wow.
Well, sometimes speed simply kills, and that was the case here. And we're lucky that that speed didn't kill our cameraman Dan on the sideline there, getting in real close to the action.
Guys, over here, the water will come to us.
Well, with the athleticism on these two these two offenses today, we very well could see a high-scoring game. It is a bit warm down here in Nerang on the Gold Coast, but there is a bit of a cooling breeze coming across the field right to left as I speak. It does feel a bit fluky. So, despite the warm nature, I don't think the heat's going to play too much of a factor on the first day of spring, I should add. Goodbye to winter for 2018. Here in southeast Queensland, keeper with a short kick that will bounce at the 30 and now be fielded by Hodgson. Does she have a bit of magic in her again? She's pursued by Swaysland but beats her. Cuts it back up the middle, and this time she won't advance it into Raven territory. It's a good return though. It is down at about the Stingrays 35. Oh, sorry, Stingrays 33.
Good work again with the kick return. Good work. Yeah, well done, mate.
Evans is going to take a first pass of the day. It is batted down by some fantastic coverage there from Torres. Pass intended to Fuller on the play over the middle. Fuller, who was the target of 15 throws from Evans last week, clearly proving she's earned the trust of her quarterback, her new quarterback, early in this season. I say new quarterback, they did play a whole Queensland campaign together, which, for those who don't know, the women's Queensland Sun Devils, they went undefeated in the WAGL Fuller and Evans teammates on that occasion, as were they through a lot of the players on the field today. And that's the first carry there for number 10, Danielle Pardo, who I believe was a rookie last season and this year has stepped into the starting running back role. There's her first carry. It was on second down. That brings up third. We've got about 3rd and 8 here for the Stingrays, their first third down conversion attempt for the day. And here goes Pardo again, but she can't find any space on third down. That'll bring up 4th. Middle of the field. Let's see if the Stingrays opt to punt here, or if they will back the arm of Evans. 4th down. Evans is still on the field. She isn't their usual punter, so that suggests to me that the Stingrays, they will be going for it. Well, a woman to watch on this play might be 13, Hodgson, far side of the field. Matched up with Bessie. She's going to go to Hodgson. Hodgson's got a step, but the pass sails over her head. Hodgson was open, and that will be a turnover on downs. Ravens, they'll take over in Stingrays territory. Aggressive play there by the Stingrays. And that's a heck of a matchup there. Hodgson on Bessie, far side. Hodgson had her Queensland teammate beat on that occasion. Pass couldn't stick. Now the Bayside Ravens with the lead. They've taken over on the Stingrays' 34-yard line. Had to travel a lot further last time to get their first score. That happened through Bessie, converted by Moran to give them the lead. Shelton puts Lingman in motion. Lingman, she'll take off, and they'll throw over the middle. Looking for the tight end in number 78, Karen Christian, the rookie tight end, I will add. Pass was a good one, unfortunately. Looks like Christian lost it in the sun. That'll be incomplete. 2nd down, Ravens. Be interesting to see how much they use Moran in this game. You'd think she'd be getting a lot more work than she did last week. Last week she actually had the opportunity to grab the clipboard for the first time as the Ravens, they moved out to a pretty strong first half lead. So head coach Gerard Fitzpatrick opted to use some of his senior players to as coaches to give them a bit of experience for what life might be after their playing career is over. Briscoe calling out audibles. Briscoe's going to blitz. This play's blown dead. Flag thrown on the play. It looks like it could be delay game. Delay of game. I was right. On the Ravens, took too long to get that play to get going. So that'll move them back 5 yards. Once again, I'll try to keep Kenny's education of the new Gridiron fans going. You have a limited amount of time to get your offensive play underway, and if you don't, well, that's the penalty. 5 yards, and you have to take the play again. Torres in a quarterback this time. Speed option out to Moran. Moran gives a shimmy and a whoosh. Now she's going down the middle of the field, breaking tackles. She's going to get the first down. It's her versus Briscoe, and Briscoe is going to take her over the sideline. Good run there from Moran. That takes him inside the 10. And, well, a few players can do what Moran does there. It's a speed option going out to the right. And the athleticism of Moran and the vision, I should say, allows her to cut that ball all the way back to the opposite sideline. We saw that a lot in the WAGL. And it shows the necessity of some backside pursuit there. It's important. Moran takes advantage of that. First and goal, Ravens inside the red zone. 2 backs in there. Torres still quarterback. Torres, Moran and the Wildbird, my apologies. Moran is being patient. She'll pitch this out to Trias Mono / Bessie. And Bessie, she's trying to get that ball over the goal line. It stopped just short, despite the little cheeky Moran offload. There you saw the last play there. Just trying to fix up some of our timing issues there. We actually had the men's timing ready to go. It's actually 8-minute quarters here in the women's division. Regulation timing, 8-minute quarters. So we've got a newbie in on our clock watching today, and he's learning the ropes as he goes. Bessie in motion. Who goes? Trias Mono Bessie, and she stopped behind the line. Flags thrown in. But yes, Stingrays Colt and even men's player Connor Brewster operating as the IRO today. Watching over the scoreboard and timing. A face mask penalty called there by a white hat official, Tim Redshaw, who's in his 31st year of officiating. He's broken the 30 burger. He's into his 31st, and he calls a penalty on that play there. And there's Connor Brewster, a new official for today. Good on him. It makes our job a lot easier. First down, a fresh play there, pretty much there for the Ravens after that penalty. And the half distance of the goal added, but they were only about a yard away anyway. Shelton back in the quarterback. We'll give to Moran back in a position of running back. Moran's going to use her speed again. This time gets inside the left pylon. Ravens extend their short lead. 14-6 over the Stingrays. Moran into score. And it's almost a mirror image of the first conversion there for Moran. This time she gets 6 instead of 2. Everything's seeming pretty methodical right now for the Ravens. The Stingrays, they are getting some negative plays to try and break it up, but a little rascal Moran seems to use her speed to get the Ravens out of trouble. Moran again being pursued there. Will she get in? You're kidding. Moran converts her own touchdown despite a great effort there by number 95, Mandy Porter. But the Ravens, they chuck another 2 points on the board. 16-6 in favor of the Ravens here in Nerang Junior Rugby League Football Club on the Gold Coast. On now the Ravens, smooth sailing on offense for them. The Stingrays defense, they're going to need a big play to sort of cut this rhythm. But right now for the Stingrays, let's not forget, they've been pretty productive themselves. They converted a short field in their first possession. They were about a metre away of landing a huge play to Hodgson on 4th down on their second. So let's see if they can sort of give their defense a bit of support here with a long drive of their own. Another mid-range kickoff here from Anderson that'll go out of bounds this time. Well, on the bright side, it will negate a Hodgson return unless they choose to take the re-kick. Let's see if the Stingrays, they choose to take the re-kick or if they choose to take the field position. I've been caught off guard here by GQ's official photographer, Nikki Verbakel. She at least got on my good side, which is appreciative. Shout out this touchdown photography. You can find her on Facebook and all of her work, going through all the different fields here for Gridiron, Queensland. looks like the Stingrays have opted to take the field position here. Evans is on the field now. And 1 rushing touchdown. And yep, just confirming there, 5-yard penalty from the out of bounds spot. So the Stingrays taking over now on their own 34-yard line. So Evans, only 2 passing attempts so far. 1 to Fuller, which was defended by Torres. The other a long attempt to Hodgson, which was just short. Here goes a 3rd attempt. This one's short as well, also intended for Hodgson. On the coverage was Bessie. And I was speaking to Evans during the week, and she says that they're in a little bit of a rebuilding phase themselves. A lot of rookies on this team. But obviously the influx of the Jets certainly bolsters a few positions. And she says really the strength of this team this year is going to be that offensive line that features a lot of talent from obviously the Stingrays, but the Jets that have come through and now call themselves Stingrays, I mean, that is an all-star offensive line led by Sarah Kane and Tammy Napier at right guard. Here goes a run up the middle. Torres is there for the tackle. That carry there was by number 42, Ashley Brewer, the wingback on the offensive side of the ball for the Stingrays. Though I will be calling her name a lot more on the defensive side of the ball, I'm sure. Another one of those former Jets I was just alluding to earlier. Pardo in the backfield, getting instructions from Evans. 3rd down. Last time they went for a run, they treated it as a 2-down situation. This time they'll go back to Pardo. The rest of people say the same. The ball's been out. And the Ravens have recovered. Bardo with the fumble on 3rd down, and the Ravens, they take over on the Stingrays' 38-yard line. On the recovery, Jessica Keeper Anderson. Well, after the recovery there, 1st down and 10, ball on the Stingrays' 38. And the offense now for the Stingrays huddled up, talking about the last drive. Meanwhile, on offense for the Ravens, that's been humming. They've got to that trips position again. This time Seto Payne's in motion. She'll run into the flat. They'll look at her. They'll throw that way. She gets knocked down during her route, and I have a feeling this will be pass interference. Brittany West getting mixed up with Seto Payne there. But I think the flag could also possibly be from moving forward at the snap. So before that pass interference there, yeah. Well, we're not in the Canadian Football League, so I think there very well could be a legal motion on the Ravens, and that's exactly what has happened. So whilst that might have been pass interference, Seto Payne shouldn't have been allowed to get that run up as is. You've got to be moving parallel to the line of scrimmage if you are going to go in motion before the snap. You can see there Seto Payne heading upfield before that snap was set. 1st and 15 now for the Ravens. Here goes Moran. Moran breaks the first tackle in the backfield. Cuts off her left, defender by her boot, and eventually cleaned up over the top by Juanita Hall, who's moved to safety this season, I've been told, which is a huge step for her because I think she's played on both on the D line and also at linebacker. So she looks like she's added another position to the football resume of hers. 2nd down, about 6 yards to go. Ball on the Stingrays, 34. Through by receivers and Moran in the backfield. Here's another orbit motion, and they will throw to Torres in the backfield. Torres will have to make up a bit of ground here. Brewer in pursuit. Brewer takes her down at the line of scrimmage. Help over the top there from Dougie. Also winning the play is Kathleen Clifford. And you can run that little motion there. It's creative by the Ravens, but it does put a bit of pressure on the receivee to make a lot of action happen after the ball's been caught. Torres, on that instance, couldn't make it happen. A good pursuit there by the Stingrays. Third down for the Ravens. Here's their first third down conversion of the day. Torres in the exact same motion as last time. Bad snap though. Shelton's going to have to improvise. She tucks it now. Now she's going to try and go up the middle herself and is taken down there by number... I'm trying to get a number there. I think it was that 31 on the play. Brittany West, one of the outside linebackers. As well as number 90, Hinimoa Barbaric. Good combination tackle there to bring up fourth down for the Ravens. Can't imagine them punting here, and actually I can't imagine who their punter might be with Marissa Hayes inactive for today. Their usual punter, and it looks like they've taken a timeout. They're going to think about it here. The Ravens take a timeout. We might take our first timeout for the day and thank one of our major sponsors. Be right back.
Hello, Paul Mills, live streaming Brisbane.
Yes, hello. Do you only do live streaming?
No, we do all sorts of video production, from television commercials through to corporate videos. We even teach students how to film and edit. We've got 17 years worth of television production, from programs to series to websites to social media.
But you only work in Brisbane?
No, we don't just work in Brisbane. We actually travel all over Australia, and in the last few years we've worked in Perth.
Back live here at Nerang. It was actually the end of the first quarter. We have moved into the second here. Ravens still in offense. Torres back in at quarterback. This little quarterback by committee system still going for the Ravens. She's going to throw deep for Lingman. Pass defended there by either Brewer or Hodgson. Both of them made a play at the ball. And that was on fourth down. So the Stingrays, they come up with a big defensive stop of their own. So for the first time today, the Ravens, they come away with no points on an offensive drive. And it was Brewer, the outside linebacker, tipping that ball away on fourth down. 1st and 10. Stingrays looking to capture a bit of momentum back here from the Ravens, who lead 16-6, start of the second. Week 3 here in Gridiron, Queensland. Blitz here from the Ravens, but it's a good run up the middle there by Pardo. Pardo takes it for a couple of yards. Sets him up here for second. And so far, behind this good offensive line, hasn't really been taken down for a loss. Pardo, that offensive line alone can get you 2 or 3 yards before you have to really do anything. Let's see if Evans actually gets put under pressure today. She's got some of the best pass protectors the Women's League has seen in front of her right now. Evans with 2 in the backfield. It'll be a pitch play to Brewer. Brewer's going to try and race to the outside, but is taken down by backside pursuit. A great job there by number 72, Isla Cook, the All-Australian defensive end. Was part of the Rhinos. Look at her just chase the play down from the backside. Former Rhino was on the Rhinos roster. Unfortunately, the Rhinos, another one of those teams that had to fold at the start of 2018. She now finds her home here in the purple, that is Birdtown. Third down now. All third down conversions have been more than 5 yards so far for the Stingrays. Evans again, her arm will be tested. The lefty will throw over the middle looking for Fuller. It's off target though, and that'll bring up 4th down. They're a lot further down than they have been in their previous 3rd down attempts. Still doesn't... Well, Hodgson's a bit confused. She's wondering whether she's going to go into punt or not. Evans still on the field. Whether she's a quarterback or a personal protector is another story. Well, Hodgson, she's come in. It's actually Cody Fuller, though, the kicker and punter this year for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Fuller gets a snap. It's a good one. Her right boot sends this ball over the 30. A bounce falls nicely into the hands of keeper, who just lowers her head and trucks forward. Doesn't even try to evade the 2 defenders, tries to split them. It's good pursuit there from the Stingrays special teams unit. That sets up the Ravens on their own 29-yard line. And I didn't actually see a near side penalty marker down. I see someone's been a bit grabby, if there was any hits in the back. And this will give a bonus 15 yards to the Ravens. A face mask penalty being called against the Stingrays, so the Ravens, they'll go marching. And now Briscoe, the inside linebacker, having a chat to Tim Redshaw, trying to get a bit of confirmation. 6:02 is the official time remaining here in the first half. 4 minutes away from 2-minute warning. Here comes some of the men's Stingrays team heading to the locker room ahead of their game at 6:30 tonight against the Griffith Uni Thunder. Stay tuned for that. Also, this trip's bunch set out to the right, but Moran's this time put behind him. She's got a bunch of blockers. She's going to run behind him. It's worked like a screenplay. The stiff arm sends her forward, and she gets pushed out of bounds by Fuller. But I think that was enough for a first down. This little trips package for the Ravens, currently producing first downs for them. So the chains move with that Moran catch and run. 1st and 10. The ball now on the 31-yard line. Now it's Shelton back at quarterback. Moran to her left. She tells Seto Payne to get a little wider. Sorry, that's the rookie wide receiver, I think. And not to go Cuttress. Moran's going to run behind Cuttress. She gets another first down. It's almost hard to get excited by Moran runs. First downs are becoming the standard. Ravens outside just inside the red zone now, actually. The ball on the Stingrays 18. And the way she sets up defenders there, where she just jumps to the inside and has the agility to bounce to the outside. So few in the league have that ability. 1st and 10. Ravens 2 wide receivers and a tight end to the right. Seto Payne's a line receiver to the left. Shelton looking over the middle, looking for Lingman. She's wrestling. Oh, she gets the little shovel pass out to Moran. Moran's now got open space. Can she get to the sideline? Puts the stiff arm down and is taken down by Hodgson and Briscoe, as well as Brittany West for good measure. But what should have been a sack turns into a huge gain for the Ravens and sets them up for 1st and goal. And we see the back end of this play here. But geez, what a heads-up play there from Shelton to keep that play alive. And also Moran to turn and face and become an option for a quarterback in need there. Let's take a look at it again. And it was just literally a coverage sack. Shelton pretty much was about to accept her fate before she might have got a call from Moran to flip it over. And flip it over she did. Now it's first and goal for the Ravens, who currently lead 16-6 midway through the second quarter. Two touchdowns so far, the Ravens. Bessie and Moran, both of them in the backfield right now. The goal line package seems to see Moran take the quarterback snaps. She passes it out to Bessie, and she'll also use her speed. She beats Hodgson to the edge. That's another touchdown to the visitors. 22-6. Day 2-point conversion to come. Literally. Ball is on schedule for their honeymoon. Both players in Kestra and Mitch both playing this weekend. Honeymoon's on hold till the end of the football season. And both of them love football too much to take any time away from it right now. All right, 2-point conversion. And a possible delay of game. Looks like the Ravens took too long, and that they did. Their second delay of game penalty for the day. So this 2-point conversion is going to be a lot more difficult for them. They're going to have to go 7 yards to earn the 2 points. All right, so the Ravens now, with that extended time to take their break, they've actually got a fullback in on the play. Here they go, and it's a bad snap, and Moran's taken down in the backfield. No 2-point conversion on that instance, and the score remains 22-6 in favor of the visiting Bayside Ravens. We'll be back in a sec. And back here, edging towards the close of the first half here in week 3. Bayside Ravens travelling to the Gold Coast to take on the Gold Coast Stingrays. They currently lead 22-6, 4:03 remaining in the second. Coming back from a Bessie touchdown. And that ball is picked up and thrown to Hodgson. Hodgson now. Already got one good kick return to her name. This time stopped before she does too much damage. Torres on the tackle. And they are inside the Ravens territory to start this one though. Ball on the Ravens 39. So Evans, who hasn't really been able to get it going in the air as of yet, struggled in the first quarter, had a couple opportunities. They did fall short. Pardo having a bit of a quiet one on the ground as well, still trying to get going. Second year running back. And this will be a mix-up on the exchange. Eventually does get into the hands of Pardo, but she's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That will bring up second down and 11. And, well, maybe she got it back to the line of scrimmage. The stick hasn't moved. So we'll call that second and 10. Pardo remains in the backfield with Evans. Hodgson, near side receiver. And it'll be a reverse pivot. Again, a give to Pardo. This time she is definitely taken down behind the line of scrimmage. The Ravens' run defense looking good. And on that play was Queensland defensive end B. Clement. Alongside Isla Cook. That is a dangerous duo on that line. with that tight end look from the Stingrays, it looks like the Ravens are keeping 3 linemen in to combat the run game. Evans obviously dangerous on play action. They're trying to prevent that. They've got 4 on the line of scrimmage right now. They send all 4 of them. Evans under pressure from Cook. She spins out of the tackle. She looks downfield, almost hit Hodgson, and the ball goes through the hands of the agile wide receiver. A great job from Evans. Look at the awareness here to get out of that sack and look downfield, and it would have been a heck of a play if they converted. Once again, our cameraman getting in the thick of the action. Great play there from Evans. Fourth down now. That's another 3rd down conversion. They have not been able to convert, unable to make any 3rd down conversions so far. Pardo, the running back. Fuller hasn't seen a target on this drive. She's all the way to the left. She'll look to Hodgson on the fade. Gets over the top of the defenders, but it's too far for Riley. And that is another turnover on the downs for the Stingrays. This offense struggling to find production. The Ravens offense, on the other hand, they'll try to keep humming along. They currently lead 22-6. We're closing in on the 2-minute warning, just about 30 seconds away. As more and more of the Stingrays coaching staff and playing group head to the locker room. Big Adam Bolton is crossing my eye line now. He's actually going to get a little close to me, probably going to try and get a score check, to which I will tell him 22-6 is the current score in favour of the Ravens. I'm trying to con him into getting to the commentary booth. Here comes Chris Hill as well, as I get back to the action where Moran fights forward for what looks to be good enough for a 1st down, but I see the down marker flipped over, so looks like it'll be 2nd and short. She was a yard short, in fact. 9-yard gain on that carry from Moran. 2nd and 1. Ball on the Stingrays 41. And there it is, the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning there from referee Tim Redshaw. So, clock officially stopped there for the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining here in this first half. Second and 1. Defense showing blitz, sending blitz. Picked up nicely, but Bessie has to go backward to go forward. There's a sea of blue ahead of her. She cuts back the other way. Now she's looking for blocks. Flags have thrown. Chances are it's for a block in the back. She's tangled up with Briscoe. Briscoe takes her down to the original line of scrimmage, but it looks like the Ravens will be moving backward via penalty with these flags on the field. And I think we're going to get a good shot of it here. I think it is Seto Payne who gets her hands in the back of a jersey, which might have been just enough to warrant a flag. See referee Redshaw getting the advice of his official staff. And my suspicions were correct. Block on the back on that play, and that'll negate the run. They got them back to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to move them backward. So they're going to see a 3rd and long, the Ravens here, on what should have been a 2nd and 1. The timeout now has been taken by the Stingrays, who might try to dial up a fancy blitz here to try and get to Shelton, but those sort of running backs they have in the backfield, the Ravens legitimately have the option to try to hand the ball off to get the 1st down. Ravens, their offense, they've talked about it enough. They use the referee's tea party to get their discussions out of the way. So what was 2nd and 1 is now 2nd and 12. The ball has been moved back to the 41-yard line. And Shelton looking to the left for Lingman. Hits Lingman in the hands, but she can't pick it up. And my apologies. On the down there, a minor suggested that it was third down. It is third down now. Obviously, the penalty brings that back to the original down, which was on second. So now we have got third and a long 11. Ball on the 39, sorry, getting my numbers mixed up. On the Ravens 39. Third and long here for the Ravens. Haven't been in this territory yet. Hodgson looking to blitz. She'll have to now move backwards. They'll give it off to Moran. They'll get Moran to work some magic. The right arm gets her forward. It's going to be close. She looked like she was out around the 40, which is right where the down marker was marked, and the referees, they say first down. And what a luxury it is for the Ravens to have the running game as a viable option on third and long. Very few football teams in the world can say they have that option. And not only did she get the first down, she gets out of bounds, so that stopped the clock. The clock by our count is stopped at around 1:32. Plenty of time for the Ravens to get points on the board. And of course we can keep up with this clock because Mr. Volunteer, Connor Brewster's running that clock for us. Here goes Bessie. She's looking like Barry Sanders. And just like Barry Sanders did a couple times in her career, she got taken down for a huge loss there by Brewer. And I've got my producer here saying that it was a tackle by the hair, but if you choose to wear your hair out, that is allowed. And though it's interesting, she grabs the hair there, that's fine. If she grabs the collar, then we're talking about something completely different. We're talking about a horse collar penalty. It is interesting. That is why anyone who has long hair, obviously it was more established in the men's division, they did suggest that it gets tucked inside the jersey for that reason. Second down, Moran. Moran jump cutting back to her right now. She puts the foot down, lowers the shoulder, and gets this play back close to the original line of scrimmage. Literally, you can put money on Moran beating the first two tacklers. As I see another senior Stingray crossing my face, a man who is supposed to be retired and tried to convince me that he would not be coming back, Mark McIntyre. As we see the Ravens happily see this play go to the half, and that will finish up the first half here in week 3 in the women's division. All right, we might just have to kill your audio for a quick bit there, as we'll just be listening to my voice as we work out some technical issues. The second half about to be underway. Cody Fuller and her right boot ready to go. It's a short kick. They're going to try and prevent a big return. It bounces friendly for our keeper though. Here goes Anderson. Anderson taking a nice tackle there by Serena Martin. Briscoe involved as well. She's been busy. So first down here for the Ravens. They went into the half with a lead. They'll be coming into the second half with possession. Their offense looked pretty unstoppable in that first half until the latter minutes, where the Stingrays managed to find a bit of pressure and took down Bessie for a couple of big losses. They really amped up the blitz in that back half. And let's see if they aim to continue to do that here in the second. The Ravens still trying to work out a few formational issues. They got pinned for delay game twice in the first half. Shelton moving some of her inexperienced receivers back behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a run. It's Trias Mono Bessie. Once again, she is one of the few players you could probably get out of a phone booth. But this time the Stingrays defense, they win another battle against her. And as good as Bessie is, That's a whole lot of blue to try and beat in the backfield. Ball is now on the Ravens' 36-yard line. It's double sticks here for the Ravens. 2nd and 17. As we get rid of that hum in me here. 2nd down here for the Ravens. Once again, haven't tried to go vertically in the passing game a whole lot. And Rosie tries to pitch it to someone, realizes no one's behind her, and once again improvises and gets the ball to Bessie, but not for the same result she did in the first half to Moran. This has been a bad start for the Ravens here in the second half. This Stingrays defense amped here to start the third quarter. And Rusty, it looks like you're back. Give us some.
Yeah, it looks like they've brought a lot more aggression to their defense back in the second half.
Yeah, they're going to need it. I think they just tried to play some base stuff against Moran in the first half, and Moran's just a bit too talented to try to just back your defense against sometimes. Another high pressure situation. This time it's a bit of an end around to Torres. Torres picks up a block, but it's Briscoe on the other side of the field. She takes her down. One of the surest tacklers in the women's division. We have got a Raven down in the backfield though, one of the linemen.
It's 75.
71, it might be.
I think it is.
Centre Amanda Holly. Not only is she a lineman for the Ravens, she has a huge amount for their front office, if you'll call it that. Doing a lot of the grant searching and the advertising and event running. She's getting looked over by the medicals staff right now. We see the Stingrays sideline, and we might be in for a little bit of an extended stoppage here. Oh wait, hang on. Looks like she's getting up under her own power, so that's always a good sign. But you can clearly see her limping on that right ankle.
That's good. She's all right.
It's a hard life being a lineman, isn't it?
Yeah. It's where all the hard work's done in the trenches. They're the toughest players on the field.
Indeed, indeed. So, mate, catch us up with what's been going on in your life over the last off-season or so.
I've just been working on some private things, some acting stuff, and
of course, getting back in front of the camera.
Yeah, trying to drum up some more work there, and doing a bit of writing and
getting amongst all your creative juice flowing, eh?
Yeah, so thought I'd give it a break this year and
get back.
I think Christine's a good person to bring the team together, and
she acted pretty much like a mother on the state tour, so I think she kind of brings that energy here back at club level. Moran with a carry on 4th down. Can Moran convert this almost impossible 4th down situation?
Outside. Yep, good job.
She gets outside, but the Stingrays do everything they need to do on 4th down there. And they allow a pretty decent game, but it's well short of the first down. There'll be a turnover on downs, and the Stingrays, they'll take over on possession.
So let's see if the offense has come up with a game plan for the second half.
I'm assuming it's friendly banter there, but Moran and Briscoe exchanging a few words after that last tackle. The Stingrays, their offense will get their first taste of the football here in the second half. You've worked with Lauren Evans before, mate. Obviously a talented quarterback. What do you think her strengths are as a signal caller in this game?
She's actually pretty smart with the whole offense. So if you give her a new play, she's pretty good at implementing it fairly well and coming up with other ideas to make the offense work. So,
well, here's something interesting. Hodgson at tailback, and they're going to run the speed option with Hodgson. Evans will take it herself. Gets a good gain there on 1st down.
So you need about 4 yards of carry.
Puts you on good stead if anytime
get it down the field.
Yeah, you start. 2nd and 5 is not a bad place to be.
It is. It opens up a lot of options in the playbook.
Well, sometimes you just got to try and put your best athletes in positions where they can make plays. Hodgson, not a noted running back, a wide receiver, famously a wide receiver. She is stepping in behind Evans now as the number one tailback, it appears.
She's got speed and a good step, so it's probably not such a silly idea anyhow.
Oh, we've just seen the flag be thrown.
The thing is, you're probably taking someone from the outside that can stretch the field and get down and make catches, but I'm not actually familiar with the new wideouts this year, so...
Well, number 4 there, near side to field, that's Cody Fuller, was a part of the Jets last year.
Yeah.
And the Ravens the year before that. She's actually just officially become a lawyer at 21 years old. She's very proud of that fact. She set that goal, I believe, in high school, that she wanted to be a lawyer by 21, and as of this past week, she's accomplished that. So
that's amazing.
Standing effort there from Cody Fuller. I know her family's proud. Her family's probably here today as well. But I mean, you say it takes the option out, but I guess in the first half they couldn't really get that going. They did have a missed long throw to Hodgson. Is a situation calling for that given we're not getting those downfield plays anyway, we may as well put her in a position where she can get.
Well, that's right. It's probably also a good option to do some long passes down the field in more of the early downs, just to keep those safeties a bit more honest and back a little bit, rather than pressuring down.
Read option, a second run there for Evans, who is the team's leading rusher in this game so far. Podo also contributing in the run game. That'll bring up 3rd and long, and this has been an issue for the Stingrays all game so far. They haven't been able to evade 3rd and long.
Yeah, exactly. So I wonder how they're going to put a play together to try and distinguish all that.
Fuller got 15 targets last week, so only had probably about 4 this game. They give it to Brewer on the toss out to the left on 3rd down, which has been the tendency for them right now. On 3rd and long, it has been a run play, I would say at least 90% of the time by my observation. They pretty much want to treat that as a 2-down situation to set up for a 4th and short, but that hasn't been the case a lot of the time.
Exactly. That's sort of backfired a little bit, so it's quite interesting that even though they're midfield, they're still going for it. So they've obviously got a lot of faith in their defence.
Oh, they weren't alert there. Evans has to scoop up this bad snap, evades the rush, looking for someone else, but Lingman takes her down hard in the backfield. That's another turnover on downs. The Ravens take over on the Stingrays 36.
So yeah, the defence has got to step it up again. It's only a short field, especially if they give the ball to Christine. She seems to be able to make a few plays.
And, well, how much of that was to just not being alert at the snap there? The low snap. Evans didn't look like she was ready for it.
Exactly. Maybe the call was on first sound and the centre just heard a sound and bam, off it goes. So,
well, 1st and 10 here for the Ravens. They have been shut out offensively in the last 2 drives, however. 3 if you'll include the drive they let run to the half. 1st and 10 inside Stingrays territory. Lingman in a tight end. That is the rookie Cuttress motioning out to the left. Shelton's the quarterback with Bessie at tail. It's a bad snap. It's clearly contagious. Shelton has to jump on this.
Has to fall on it. Wise move. Wise move to do that.
Plays it to live another down.
So she didn't actually start the game at quarterback.
Shelton.
Number 12?
Yeah, well, they almost run. It's odd because in the they have a lot of packages for Torres, number 8, who plays pretty much as a package quarterback there. Shelton, I would argue, is their starter. But in the goal line, they go to a wildcat package with Moran at quarterback. So it's hard to really name a starting quarterback for this team.
Yeah, well, I noticed last year that she seemed to come in when games were a little bit blown out a bit. So I wonder whether they sort of groomed her to take over from Torres and actually become the starter this year.
Yeah. Well, even last year, they definitely ran a committee system as well. And once again, playing different packages to different players' strengths?
When we played them, I don't remember seeing number 12 come in at quarterback at all. So
there you go. I know there were certainly some games dominated by different quarterbacks. Speaking of the change of quarterbacks, Moran's a quarterback now here on 3rd and long. Her and Bessie in the backfield for a speed option. A dummy thrown by Moran. Moran chugs forward. She's still going, breaking tackles, flags thrown down the middle of the field. She'll get close to a first down. Will be stopped about 3-4 yards short. But the back judge has flung a penalty marker.
So she broke quite a few tackles there. She's probably lubed with olive oil just before the game by the looks of it.
Certainly feels that way, doesn't it?
She's got a fantastic step though, Moran. She can, you can think you've got the angle on her to make the tackle, and then she makes a great step to go back inside and avoid getting tackled. So,
well, what's crazy as well is you compare it to those first couple of years. Obviously, I feel like this is the same equivalent of talking about Antonio Gates and his basketball background, but Christy Moran came from a touch background. That's where the agility comes from. But over the years, she's added strength to that. So not only is it hard to get her off that step, she'll finish it off with a bit of power as well.
And I guess she probably does some extra training and all that as well, especially when she first started, to get better at her position.
Looks like that penalty was against the Stingrays. I didn't actually see the call from Tim Redshaw there, but it was favoured the Ravens. The Ravens now inside the red zone. Speed option for Moran and Bessie. It's a clean play as far as execution goes, but multiple penalty markers down. See if there was any holding. Well, I couldn't.
Well, the side ref was calling for a touchdown.
Well, they're calling the field as touchdown. I couldn't see anything on that plate. I might have seen it holding. Okay, possibly on number 79, the rookie, or 78 perhaps. Karen Christian.
It's probably a bit of a break the defensive needed.
Oh, actually might have been Cuttress who got someone holding there. Regardless, moving on. Now it's 1st and 15. Ball on the 19-yard line.
Yeah, we've got a double tight set.
And it's another bad snap.
Moran,
she scoops it up, trying to use her speed to get to the outside, cuts it back in. Hodgson forces her inside. More penalties, 3 plays in a row with the hanky out.
Good positioning by Hodgson though. She got the outside to make sure that she didn't bounce outside. Broke down and then came back in to make the tackle, and Ella comes in, helps her out, so it's good teamwork.
Let's pay attention for this replay.
So you get back into coaching at all, do you think? Or
I think it's hard to do when most of the games that I would be coaching in, I'm calling, so feels like an impossible one. Speaking about calling, my colour commentator for the next game, who I'll keep quiet until the men's game, is here and ready. Though that penalty was a hold and a block in the back against the Ravens. Wow. They keep moving in the wrong direction.
So change the quarterback again.
This time it was Torres handing off to Moran. Moran bowling a defender over on the far sideline.
And once again they bounce to the outside, so they seem to be having a problem with that contain, especially to that side of the field.
And look at the way Moran finishes off that run with a right stiff arm. There's that strength we were talking about, Rusty.
Yeah, breaking tackles.
Well, she's made a great deal of those yards back. It is still double stick, so the ball is on the 18-yard line.
The Stingrays really need to keep him out here to be able to have a chance to get back into the game.
High snap collected by Torres. Torres looking for someone over the middle. Intercepted.
Oh, it's a pick.
Cody Fuller Cody Fuller hasn't caught a pass on offense yet today, but picks one off there at the safety position. And you said they needed to hold him out. That's exactly what they did,
That's
Coach.
exactly what the Stingrays needed. And that'll lift morale for the defence a little bit more as well.
Moran on the tackle on Fuller. But high snap there, and she kind of throws it off her back foot under pressure. And right there to capitalise is the newly appointed lawyer.
So it looks like
Cody
change of
Fuller.
quarters.
Yes, that one actually went by really quickly.
It did. It goes
change.
really quick.
Third quarter, that was scoreless, 22-6. The halftime score remains unchanged as we move into the fourth. The Ravens, the reigning champions and visitors today, they still lead over the Stingrays.
So I actually went down to just up to the sideline just before to have a look at the players, and there's a lot of new players that I haven't seen.
Yeah, a bit of a turnover, isn't it?
Yeah, so they did a great recruiting drive this year to be able to get some more players, because a lot of the older players, all the veterans have sort of
Moved on to...
hung up their cleats.
And
so to
well,
speak.
yeah, or unfortunately dealing with injury. I was speaking to Amy Henry earlier, who unfortunately tore her ACL in preparation for the WAGL. And looks like not only is she out this season, she could be looking at being out next season, unfortunately, depending how operation goes. So that's bad
Well,
news.
I did hear that she wasn't going to play this year, but I saw a couple of posts where she was participating with the girls, so that's a better run up the middle. She's got a bit more of a hole there to run through.
Great
So
run
the
there
offensive
by-
line's opened it up for her, and
Yeah, great run there by Pardo, her best of the day. And there's that all-state offensive line at work.
Pardo, she started training with us last year. She was actually played in the first game as our kicker.
Oh, yeah.
I was training her up for running back, but then she got injuries, so she had to pull out for the year after the first game, unfortunately. But
Getting her
good to
opportunity.
see her back on the field.
Getting her opportunity here in 2018. That read option stuffed there. Evans gets maybe a yard out of that play. As the sun begins to drop here in Nerang, and the weather drops with it. Temperature.
So the streaming is only for selected games, isn't
Yeah,
it?
2 games a week. So
Yep.
we travel venue to venue. So back-to-back games here. So, but the good news is each week there is a Gridiron to be seen.
It is fantastic, actually, for people that can't make it to the game to be able to watch it online.
Especially those who leave the game because of work or moving or something like that. They can still be part of Gridiron Queensland.
Yeah, exactly.
Another
Yes,
run up the
they
middle.
Just drive and push the running back over to the first down.
Looks like she's come into the second half with a bit of attitude here, Pardo. Cheeky spin move with a stiff arm there.
She seems to be running a little bit harder in the second half.
And we're just talking about people who watch the stream and how good the stream is. We got 1,800 unique viewers last week. That's 1,800 PCs, mobiles, or TVs tuning into the stream. So
That's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, what a grab
great
by
catch.
Hodgson.
And she's still going. She's still on her feet. The 4 Ravens around her to take her down.
that's why she's considered possibly the best wide receiver in the nation.
She really has got sticky hands.
And that's some tight coverage she was facing there from Tricky. Rian Tricky, who was selected to play for Queensland, unfortunately broke her hand the day before they left. So served, still went travelling, served pretty much as the manager for the group alongside Tim Kearns. But yeah, unfortunate for her, but she's all recovered, ready for a big season here in 2018. Tricky.
And when she did her knee and she couldn't play it most of last year, she still very hungry
Middle,
for it.
she's got
Oh, what a
another
great
one.
catch.
Speaking of the devil, she's
There she
still
goes.
going.
She's got some open
Past
field.
the 30, into the 20. Hodgson at the 10. Taken down inside the 5. Another huge play to Riley Hodgson. Break it down for us here, Coach.
Once again, always safe hands. Always safe hands. Get it anywhere near her and she'll just catch that ball. Throw it at her feet, throw it at her head, throw it to the left or right, she'll catch it.
It's impressive because she's not exactly the biggest wide receiver. Probably standing about maybe 5'6" at the best. Probably closer to 5'5". And on live action, here on goal line, Evans looking for Hodgson for the corner out. She's got it over Bessie. What a drive this has been for Riley Hodgson. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold the phone. Flags are down on the field.
3 consecutive plays to a playmaker of the team, and she has actually made plays.
She loves that route, doesn't she? She probably runs that corner route better than anyone in the league. Hodgson. I couldn't figure out that. I just want to.
Couldn't see what that penalty was for.
It is a touchdown though.
Touchdown.
Whatever it was, they've gone through it. So the Stingrays, they add their second touchdown of the day. Riley Hodgson, first one in by Evans. 20-12, 2-point conversion upcoming.
So they actually need to make this conversion here.
And if they make it,
to be able to give themselves a chance to level the score with another score after this.
Conversion's huge. This will make it an 8-point game. They're throwing for the corner once again. Oh, it was in the hands of Fuller. And it falls out of the phalanges. That looked like it was money for the Stingrays, who found some momentum. It's a great throw and a great shot there by our camera team. So this will make it a little more difficult. We are now looking at a 10-point buffer. That's a 2-possession, well, barring a safety, a 2-possession difference for the Stingrays to overcome with 4:47 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Is that her normal position, playing receiver?
Yeah, she started at linebacker for the Ravens,
yep.
But since moving to the Jets and playing at Queensland, she played wide receiver.
It's a pity the Jets aren't around this year. They were one of the inaugural teams that was in the very first season. So, but the game evolves.
Yeah. You see teams like
the game still exists.
Yeah.
Yep.
And fingers crossed, this isn't the end of the Jets. Hopefully it's a hiatus more than a close, and they will be back in years to come. Logan City Gridiron certainly loves it. They were pretty much the heroes of Logan City Gridiron for many years.
Yes, certainly were. But hopefully it also increases the quality of the games, maybe.
That's exactly right.
There's always positives to it.
Yeah, just like the men's division, the women's division, with only 4 teams in it, has all the talent condensed, so we see some quality games. This is picked up by Bessie. She's dangerous in open space, pointing out blockers, is taken down by the... Oh, I thought it was 13, it was 31, so a good pursuit there from Brittany West.
So the Stingrays defence here just has to make a big stand, even try and get another turnover, maybe bring some aggression into the defence a little bit more than normal.
Hoping so.
And try and get the ball back for the offence.
Let's see how this Ravens offense handles the turnover from last drive. And their first
with 4 minutes to go as well, though, they've got the luxury to sort of slow the play down a bit and just put a bit more pressure on the Stingrays to actually make plays.
Yeah, to more. That's it. Not only play the scoreboard but play the clock. And they've certainly got the running game to do so. Blitz shown here from the Stingrays. They don't guess the snap count correctly. They still find their way into the backfield, but as does Bessie. We've got flags down back at the line of scrimmage. And as of right now, Bessie's got a first down, but the side judge has got a hanky on the turf.
That could have been dangerous. It's good that number 4 was there to at least slow her down, wait for help to come through.
Curdy Fuller. It looks like we could have either offside or illegally positioned offensive player. Looks like this flag might be waved off from the body language shown from Tim Redshaw. Now he's going to confer with his other side judge.
Still not too sure what the flag's for, but the offense seems to be confident it's not against them.
Appears to be the case. No one's marching.
And the defense doesn't seem to be arguing the fact.
Well, it is against
But
the
they're
offense.
getting some clarification.
There we go. So illegal formation. So chances are there was too many or not enough players on the line of scrimmage. So let's see if we can catch the start of that play. So, well, you got two players off the line of scrimmage there. Well, if they've got 2 tight ends,
It seems to be okay to me.
yeah.
The receivers were both off the line. You can have as many down linemen as you want.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the situation was. And they're trying to get the down counter changed, trying to suggest that it's a loss of down. It's still first down as far as the down counter goes. They've caught him offside. And they'll earn some of that penalty yardage back. And bring us back to the original line of
So let's
scrimmage.
see if the ball moves at all. He has to twitch slightly, but no, they've just gone on the assumption that it was on 1. So good job by the offense to call them off.
Hold their water. Well, you said yourself, the defense is a bit under pressure now to make plays, and
Exactly, yep.
sometimes leads to mistakes like that. You got to turn up the aggression, and sometimes that means you lose a bit of discipline.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Well, we're back to where we started. First down, ball on the 34. 1st and 10. Shelton in a quarterback, Moran is over tail. Both wide receivers off the line. Here goes Moran. Shuffles past the first defender, bounces it out to the near side sideline. Flags are still thrown. It feels like we can't get through a play without the penalty markers coming out of the pockets. Right now, she's got a first down, but let's wait for the penalties to be assessed.
What makes it so good is her vision. Her vision to see and look for open grass. First of all, she relies on her line to make a hole, and if it's not there, she just looks for grass. Anything green and bounces towards it.
And that's the benefits of having a 6-year veteran in your
exactly.
offense, right?
Yeah. Well, and to be one of the main players in the Australian team when they went over.
Absolutely.
She got given the ball quite a bit. And you can see why.
And not that I'm one to talk about a lady's age, but, while she gets on in years, she only seems to get better. She's not losing a step.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's a testament to how well she looks after her body and how hard she trains in those off seasons. And it sounds like a block in the back assessed against the offense. And right now the Ravens are just kind of inviting the Stingrays to make a play. Same formation, double tight. Moran,
Assume they'll just run the ball again.
you'd think
Try
so.
and take time off the clock.
Moran gets given the ball up the middle, lowers ahead, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's a win for the defense on that one. Making a play there. It looks like it was Maximov and Kathleen Clifford on the line.
And neither of the sides have taken a time out at all. This half at all, so
Yeah, you're right.
you wonder when Christine will sort of make the call and decide, we need to stop the clock and try and give ourselves a chance to get back into it. But
Well, second and double stick still. They've caught him offside.
really
Referee's
aggressive,
going to let
really
him go.
aggressive.
Here goes Torres. She's got a bit of space. It takes her past the original line of scrimmage and picks up an extra 4, maybe 5 yards after that as well.
It's probably a good 13-yard play, that one. But when you get aggressive with your defence, there's obviously always the chance of a big play to happen.
Well, it sometimes turns into a bit of a guessing game, right? You send a blitz up the middle, they go to the outside, then the pursuit that goes to the outside, well, that's caught up in the middle. And I was probably a bit generous on that ball position. We've got about 3rd and 7 upcoming.
The Stingrays have got 2 downs to defend to try and get the ball back. It's a high
Ball
snap.
almost go over the head of Torres. Torres will pitch to Moran. Moran will beat West. Will keep going. Now bounces it back across the other side of the field, which she does so well before she's taken down from behind by number 90, Hinimoa Babedic.
Looks like it might be short by just a yard.
I think you're right. Oh, we're getting a first down signal.
Wow.
So this side judge and Tim Redshaw saying she got past the marker.
Must be the forward progress.
Well, let's take a look, eh? You can see that the first down marker is the 49-yard.
Well, she's there. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I think she chooses to go back.
Was a good call, but she did reach that point when she got tackled, so.
Yeah. First down and 10.
So that
Ravens have taken it to the 2-minute warning now.
It just makes it a little bit tougher on the Stingrays defense now.
Here goes Miranda, quarterback now.
Going to the option again.
With Bessie. She's going to take it herself. She's got her first down. She stays in bounds. She gets the chains moving and keeps that clock moving.
Seems to be exploiting the outside quite a fair bit.
And taken down there by Brewer, an old teammate of Moran's. 2 former Jets. Coming to blows there.
Number 42.
Yep.
She's playing very well. She plays a good game.
Yeah, she's one of those sideline to sideline defenders, isn't she? Another one of the Australian outback representatives. A couple on this field right now. Moran, we discussed. Isla Cook, Briscoe, Brewer, Evans, Hodgson. The whole entire offensive line of the Stingrays. Nairn also making a Queensland debut in this past off-season. Almost caught offside, but Torres is in trouble. She's still going to try and fling it. She finds the tight end, number 78, in Karen Christian, and turns that play from disastrous to acceptable. And here's where things get tricky, because there are no numbering rules in 9-a-side football, so anyone can wear any number they want, but the reason they usually keep linemen to certain numbers is to know immediately whether someone's eligible or not.
Yeah, exactly. But that was a good call. She was down on the line. There was a tight end and
eligible.
Good that she was able to block. Plus also have good vision to see that the quarterback was in trouble and just get behind the defence slightly to be able to make the catch there.
Well, the Stingrays have been caught offside again, and well, the way things are going, if I'm the playing quarterback for the Ravens, I'm going hard count every single play.
Yep, and that comes down to training where you do like hold the water drills.
And in today's day and age, where particularly in the men's division, where offense is taught to go, 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 is the old hard count still still taught and practiced?
Yeah. It's depending a lot of short situations mainly.
Sure. Second down now. Torres, speed option. She pivots, makes a bad decision there. Maybe the pitch was the right idea, but Briscoe, the hard-hitting linebacker.
So Ella just does an aggressive tango with her there in the backfield.
I like that. Aggressive tango. Takes it down, and finishing off the play is also our defensive lineman, Hinimoa Babedic again. Been very busy in the second half. The bad news is that they haven't used any timeouts.
They haven't yet, and the clock's running down.
Looks like, and that's something I probably should pay a little more attention to. But
maybe you'd think you'd give yourself a chance to at least try and get the offense back on the
That's
field.
not what they did. I don't know if they just accepted it because they had a two possession differential there, but they let that clock run out there, and that's the end of the game. It almost feels anticlimactic. Well, thanks, Rusty.
And they did play well, the Ravens. I think the next time they meet to play, I think it might even be a little bit more of a closer contest.
Well, they meet two more times this season with the four-team league this year. But that wraps it up here for the first game in Nerang. The Ravens, they use a good first half lead to take out the game at 22 points to 12 over the Stingrays. The Ravens remain undefeated here in 2018. I'm Kenny Andres. Thank you to our sponsor, Impact Sports, for this week. We have got a second game upcoming at 6:30, so stick with us there for the men's game. The Stingrays, they'll be taking on the Griffith Uni Thunder. Thank you for your company. We hope you join us for the second game. Back later.